Hey guys, hopefully you are doing well. Harry here, and I'm really excited for this video, and I'm really happy that you guys are watching my video, and that's really motivating me, right, guys? Well, I just want to make everything clear before making this video, right, guys? So whatever I'm making on this video, right, whatever stock I'm using on this video, especially for the analysis, I just want to make it clear, guys, right? So please, guys, don't invest anything after watching my video. I'm like whatever stock I'm using on my video, guys, right? So it is your investment, it is your hard earning money, right? So I want you guys to interpret by yourself. I want you guys to to understand the market, and it's on you guys. So please, guys, don't invest any single penny after watching this video, right? So it's just for educational purpose, and I really want to educate everyone about the finance, right? Before making this video, I would like to give you some overview about myself, right? So I used to be a day trader when I was in university, and I'm from the University of West of Scotland, which is located in Paisley. It is known as the Paisley campus, right? Well, when it's come to finance, I would like to show you something, right, which basically I have learned during my uni year. So there is always a question a lot of people ask me, because of my background, right? So a lot of people ask me, you are from mechanical engineer, and how you manage to learn all those financial skills, right? So let me show you some report. We mechanical engineer also do certain kind of financial stuff, right? So you can see over here, one of my modules from my uni year, I was in a mechanical engineer course, right? And I was learning manufacturing operation management, where we taught about the lean manufacturing and how to manage the cost, right? So I did a case study on Microsoft, right? And you can see over here, I managed to get into the company's earning reports and to present them onto my report, right? And I also managed to get the quarterly report of the revenue has been generated by the companies, right? So those are the skills I have learned into manufacturing management, which really motivate me to study more about the finance, right? When it comes to income statement, most of you know that income statement are the crucial tool for understanding company financial performance, right? So they provide valuable insight, right? Especially when it's come to me, I'm a data analyst, right? So for me, income statement is a value for me, right? This is a valuable document for me, which can provide me overviews of a company, right? Especially when it's come to revenue, expenses, and is the company is profitable or not, especially a specific period of time. So why I choose Microsoft report during my uni, right? So basically it was a time of pandemic, but I want to see how the Microsoft will perform, right? And how the Microsoft will plan their strategy during pandemic, right? So Microsoft, they are very famous for providing services, right? They have a Microsoft Office side, they have a Microsoft Team, and they have a Microsoft Cloud System, right? Basically, they use all those online platform, right, to make their profit, right? So and you can also see their chart on during the pandemic. I will show you over here, right? So now you can see over here, this is the Microsoft Corporation, right? So basically, I present you the overall chart of a Microsoft. This is the overall chart of Microsoft. This is how Microsoft look like, right? So in this past 5 year, you can see over here the 2019, right? So basically on nearly November and December 2019, there's a pandemic, right? So there was a dip over here, then suddenly you can see over here the rise of the Microsoft, right? So it's kept rising till 2022, right? So there was a lot of online stuff going on right now. Over here they were making a lot of online services, especially they are selling all the electronic products side, and especially when it's come to office work, everybody was doing remote from home. And when it's come to study, students are staying in a home and they are studying online, and they are using Microsoft Teams. So those are the services they have provided during the pandemic, right? And they really help us, each of us, to survive during the pandemic, right? And to keep our work done, right? So let's move on, right? Before we move on to this video, right, I would like to highlight some skills we should know before undertaking any financial analysis, right? So those are the technical skills you need to focus on, right? So first is the analytical skill, right? You should know how to read the graph, how to read the pattern, right? You need to know about what are outliers, right? So those are the small things you need to understand. So you need to go through all the statistic, especially about the mean, right, median. You need to know about the standard deviations, variations, right? So if you know the this all basic statistic, it will be fine, right? And also about the hypothesis testing, right? You need to know about those kind of scenario. So basically there's a lot of thing to learn, right? So I will make a separate video for the statistic, right? So I will teach you how to perform statistic, especially while using a live data on finance, right? So second, you need to know about the fundamental skill, right? So basically it's about reading company's balance sheet, income statement and cash flow, right? So let me show you something how to do that, right? So I'll make a separate video how to read, but let me show you the overview how you can access to any fundamental statement of a company, right? Right guys, so I will show you how to access to financial statement of a company, right? Basically we're gonna use a Yahoo Finance to access to company income statement, balance sheet and cash flow. So in future I will make a separate video. Video is only about income statement, only about balance sheet and only about cash flow, where we can read those stuff, and we will use a visualization to compare those the earning and all the stuff. So I will do that in the future, right? So basically let's not waste our time and let me show you around how to access to financial statement, right? So basically it will only help you to get the insight, okay? So we're gonna type Yahoo Finance so in Google. After typing a Yahoo Finance, we'll access to Yahoo Finance. So I will reject the cookie, right? So okay, so basically over here you can see a search bar over here. So in search bar basically you can type like Tesla, right? So basically if you go for Tesla, it will show Tesla corporation side, and you can see over here you'll press this and it will give you the Tesla shares price, right? So there are the different chart available over here. That's the maximum chart, right? And you can even put it into the full screen, right? And right, so that's where you can see what's going on at the moment, right? So you can put according to your views, right? You can put into 5 days, you can put into 6 month chart, right? So it's on you, right? So that's will not help you, right? That will only help you to see the overview of a stock, right? So now I will go through something like historical data, right? Those are all the data we're gonna mine from Python, right? So basically we are importing API, and these are all data we are mining from our API, right? So I'm directly taking you to Yahoo Finance website, right? So we basically import Yahoo Finance Python library just to access through this all data, right? So we don't need to go through this all kind of search, right? This is a waste of time, isn't it? So let's go for financial, right? So over here financial, you can see on this tab financial, you see over here income statement, right? Balance sheet, right? And you have the cash flow over here, right? And you have an annual and quarterly report over here, right? So if you go to income statement, right, and let's say income statement and you say annual, right? Now you can see over here those figures are all in thousand, right? It's mentioned over here, okay? So basically those are in a millions, right? So now you can see over here there is a revenue, right? So these are the ongoing current revenue, right? Revenue data available over here, right? So because this of the annual report, if you go for quarterly, you have more accessible to the this year report over here, right? So if I say annually, now you can see the Microsoft is generating more revenue as compared to last year over here, right? Say 2019 the figure is nearly about 24, then it's been increased to 31, then it's been increased to 53, now it's in 81, right? And you can see the overall clear picture on the chart. Actually they are making profit or not, right? So basically right now is an ongoing recession. Because of that they're in exponential dip at the moment, right? And you can also see over here there's the exponential growth. So most of the tech company go through the exponential growth and exponential dip, right? You need to understand that, you need to control your emotions. That's how the market work, right? And you can see over here the beta ratio, sorry, the beta is 2 and the PE ratio is 51.91, right? So you know about the beta, right? So we'll talk about the beta on another video, right? So about the beta and alpha, right? So guys, let's move on, right? Well guys, the another skill is sentimental analysis, right? So most probably a lot of people have heard about the sentimental analysis, right? So basically the sentimental analysis work on the human interpretation, especially come to the emotion, right? So let's say news and trend. So the core factor to understand the news and trend is through reading newspaper sites. So reading all the articles which provided online, right? So we need to find are those news are accurate or not, right? So basically that's how you can do is through comparing those news from different news agent, right? Well, now you can see over here Meta hit with record 1.2 billion fine over EU data rules, right? So basically this gonna affect our stock and of course our portfolio, right? So now you can see over here they have published all the report, right? So most probably what you can do next is like you can go to Bloomberg. On Bloomberg you will find a lot of data over here. So I would like to use Bloomberg just to check how my index is performing, right? So and also like you can check the market data over there. So they have a very good analytical skills, right? Those people who work in Bloomberg, and they provide very effective analysis, right? And they also provide what's going inside those companies. So this is our most important skill, sentimental analysis, and this also help you to grow your knowledge about the company and about the stock, right? So the third is I would like to suggest is market watch, right? So see the market watch, this is the data they available over here. They have US, they have Europe market, they have Asia, right? And the different size. So uh, you can go for like a market, and you can see over here there's the market data available over there, right? So it's a really handy, right guys? So if you go for another one, I would suggest you like this one, Reuters side. So basically those are also like global insight, I'm like an agent side. So they basically provide you the insight, and you can see over here there's a meeting going on currently, and this talking about the G7 summit, right? So Beijing rebukes Japan, Britain over anti-China G7 summit, right? So let's not talk about the politics over here, right guys? So let's not waste our time, right? Let's move on, right? Because we also have to code in this video, right? Not only just to look after this, right? So another is like CNBC, right? So you can see in a CNBC you have a different opportunity to read over here, right? So guys, I want you guys to figure out by yourself, right guys? So let's move on, right? So another is says as major holder, right? And how to identify the major holder, right? And of course you need to understand who are the VIPs, right? So let me guide you through this first, right? So guys, so my technique to check who are the VIPs and the institution holder, what basically I do is like I use Y Finance, right? And I use NASDAQ website, right? So basically I'll use a Y Finance, I will say Tesla, right? I'll check on a Tesla. So what's going on, who are the institution holder, right? So I will go on this tab, right? We call holders, right? And after holders, you can see over here it says Vanguard, right? So Vanguard hold about the shares, this much shares, right? So that's a top institution holder. So Vanguard is the first institution holder, right? And the second is our BlackRock, and third is our state corporations, right? So you can see JP Morgan is also over here, right? So these are all the institution holder over there, right? And you can see over there date reported, right? So when they have filed in that day, that's much amount of share they hold, right? Because publicly you have to mention how much shares you hold, and because you are not allowed to do the market manipulations, right? And it is an offense, right? So doing the market manipulations, right? So you cannot pump the volume over there, right? So those are illegal, right? So those are the report available over here. Then you can say insider roster side, you can see over there those are the VIP name over there, right? You see this officer, right? The directors, you can see over here, right? So there's the Kimball, I think that's the Kimball Musk. So I'm in a page where the Kimball Musk has made and transactions, right? So those are the VIPs, or you can say the whales of the stock market, right? So they hold the large amount of shares, right? So having 100,000 shares is not a small thing, right? That's a big thing, especially holding that much equity into one company, right? So I want you guys to explore by yourself, right? So I will provide those links on description below, right? So now you can see over here inside transactions, right? So basically those are the insider transactions. So those are the purchase and the sales of the share side over here. So those are quite big number, you know, like those are very big number, right? So and you can see over here those are the VIPs, right? Very important person, right? So and their ranks is over here, right? You can go through them, you can study about them, like who they are, right? So I know few of them, right? I studied few of them, and they also have lot of venture capitalists, right? So right guys, so next our website is NASDAQ, right? So basically if you go to NASDAQ, and there's, you can see over here there's a dynamic chart over there, right? So I will pick Amazon, right? And in Amazon basically you have a I'm like on this session you have earnings, you have financials, right? You can see over here, right? So Now we're looking for the holder side. There we go, the institutional holder, right? So those are the whales again, right? So you can see over here, they tell you each and every news, especially when it's come to Nasdaq. Those are the those are the one who provide the IPO, right? So initial public offering, Nasdaq, New York Exchange, London Exchange, right? So let's see. It says Vanguard is the again the top holders in Amazon, right? BlackRock is the second major holder side, and the state corporation side. So these are the three top holders side, and there's a JP Morgan over here, Morgan Stanley, and you can see the Bank of America, right? And Capital Research Global Investors. So there is lot of holders. Even I put into 290. You can see over there's lot of VCs, right? So I'm like lot of firms, especially financial institutions, right? So yeah. So you can see over here there's a sold out. These are the sold out datas, right? So how many they have sold. So currently 3Z Capital Partners LP, right? So they have sold nearly like 40,000, right? And it's the transaction has made on the on March, right? Month of March, end of March, right? So there's a lot of thing going on at the market. You have to go through this kind of thing when it's come to an investment and constructing the portfolios, right? So guys, let's move into the coding part now, right? Right guys, so I have provided you all the information which is essential for doing market data analysis, right? So basically now we are in a coding part. Okay, so basically today we're gonna just do the price check, right? We're gonna check how the graph look like, right? And we're gonna do like a lot of things, right? A lot of cool stuff, right? You will enjoy this. Okay, so first you're gonna select a tab, right? You're gonna import some essential library. Let's say import pandas as PD, right? And we'll say import matplot, right? If you put a tab over here, should give us something. Yeah, that's a matplot leave dot pyplot, right? SPLT, right? So matplotlib dot pyplot SPLT. We can import Seaborn as SNS, right? I will import statistic, right? So statistics as ST, right? And I will import Y finance as YF, right? I'm gonna run this, right? So those are my essential libraries. So we are not doing any machine learning, right? We are just doing normal data analysis, right? And those are the skill we need at the moment, okay, in this video. So yeah, there we go. So basically now I'm gonna guide you through how to use a Y finance. Okay, so that is the motivation of this video, right? So let's say stock 1, right? So stock 1, and I'm really impressed today because I have seen some chart of the Microsoft and also the Apple. So I think we can project and we can compare both of them, right? So basically what we can do is like we can say we'll use the first matter into Y finance side. I will show you the second matter in another video, right? So first matter would be like YF. So YF stand for the Y finance side. So basically stock 1 is our object, right? In our ops concept, stock 1 is our object and YF is our class, right? And I will say ticker, right? And I'll call the ticker. Then I will put over here something like Microsoft MSFT, right? So when I will wait, sorry, there is a syntax error because of this, right? So there we go. Now we can put a stock 1. So now you can see there, so ticker object, right? So I told you it's an object, right? So next what we're gonna do is we can say stock 1 history, right? Let's say it's STORY, right? So then I will say stock 1, right? Now we're gonna use a function, right? So basically and we are using the function inside our class, right? So let's say stock dot, right? Stock 1 dot, basically stock 1 represent the object, this object we had created over here, right? So now I'm gonna access to the function which is our history, right? So I will say history, there we go, history, right? Then I will say period. So basically period. Then I will choose let's say like 20 year, right? 20 year, I think that will be too much. Let's say like 10 year, right? 10 year will be fine in it. So there we go. So now I'm gonna call I'm gonna store this MSFT, right, as stock 1 history, right? I don't want to type stock history again and again, just MSFT will be fine, right? So I will call this and I will check MSFT dot shape, right? So shape basically tell you how the row and columns look like, right? So now you can see MSFT. Yeah, there we go. So those are the prices. The initial price is 2013, right? And the final price is on 2023, right? So those are the dates over here, and those are the open price. Those are high, those are low, those are close, those are volumes, and dividends and stock split, right? Okay guys, so let's not waste our time, right? So basically I'm gonna copy this stock one and gonna paste over here. Another this history, I'm gonna paste on the same tab. I did it in a different tab so I can make you understand. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them into the single tab. So there's the reason I put it into a single tab. So you can select this all with the help of your cursor, and you can press the control button. So and you can put 2 over here, right? And instead of Microsoft you can put Apple. Oh sorry, it's need to be capital, right? So AAPL, AAPL, yeah. So then another is you have to put over here AAP, no sorry, let's say APPLE, no, let's say AAPL, right? That's really better. So 2519, check the shape of another one, 2519, that's fine. Well guys, now let's move on, right? So basically I'm gonna call AAPL now, right? So after that you can see over here, right? So those are the Apple data, right? So see the dividend and the stock split, right? There's no data available over here. So basically lot of them doesn't pay the dividend, right? So there is something over here, you can see over here 0.68. so if you want to know like what are those data available over here, then basically you can do MSFT, right? So MSFT dot, you can select those column size. So I will say dividends, right? Dividends, if you select those column it will show over here, right? Dividends. And basically if you know the simple data analysis technique, you can do unique, right? So oh, there you go, unique, right? So open and close parentheses, right? So now you can see over here those are the unique values over there, right? If I do plot, I can see well, oh yeah, so I forgot one thing, I have to count those unique values, right? So if you count those values, then you will able to plot those frequencies, right? So let me show you how to plot those frequencies. So if I say so something like this, right? I'll put a tab, right? So then open and close parentheses. Now you can see over here those are the unique values, right? Then I will say plot, right? And should be fine. Yeah, see now you can see over here those are the plot. But if I say plot dot bar, right? So now you can see over here those are the bar plot, right? So most probably there's 0 because of those dividend, right? So lot of them doesn't pay any dividend, right? So you can see over here if I will copy this, right? And I will just try to remove this, right? And I will just put this, you can see the count over here. So the maximum count is 0, right? And those are like 4 and 3 and 1, those are like nothing, you know what I mean? So well, if you have a huge capital and you get those dividends, then probably that means something to you, right? So I just don't want to underestimate those figures over there, right? So those decimal point, but sometime you have enough capital that's give you a good return, right, on the dividend yield, right? So let's move on, right? So I really want to plot how our Microsoft look like, right? So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna name this block as Apple, right? Before the we moving into Apple, I'm gonna do some Microsoft stuff, right? So let's say like AAPL, because I really want to use the ticker, and I'm gonna use a ticker so you guys can be habitual to ticker, you know what I mean? Let's say MSFT. So I have a habit of identifying a company with the ticker instead of their name, right? Because of the stock market analysis, right? So yeah, I'm gonna put more block. Well guys, so let's move on, right? So basically I'm gonna call the MSFT, right? So after MSFT you can see the Microsoft price over here, right? So I'm gonna say MSFT, basically I'm gonna just put the columns over here, right, just to check how many columns we have, right? So open, high, low, close, volumes, and dividend, stock split, right? So basically I have some rules, right, while undertaking data analysis job, right? So let me show you my rules. So first I will say columns equal to MSFT dot columns dot str, right, that stand for the string, dot lower, Okay, so now I'm gonna run this. Now I'm gonna call this again. um, Now you can see over here, those are open, high, low, close, volume. Those are into small letters now, right? So let me show you again, right? So those are into the small letter case now, right? So let's say msft dot is null, just to check if there any null value. So like dot null, let's say dot sum, right? uh, So now you can see over here, open, high, low, volume, dividend, stock split. Those are all zero null value side. Basically, see the stock market data, it doesn't have the null value side. So you don't need to stress yourself, right? You are basically focusing into the more about the insight, right? So, okay, let's plot our first insight. Okay, so I will say MSFT, right? MSFT dot open, right? Just checking into the open price. I basically a lot of people use close. I'm just showing open because open is our first column, right? So dot plot, right? Now you can see over here it's a bit heavy. There we go, guys. So this is your open price, right? So basically now you can change color over here, COLOR, right? Then you will have quote, and in quote you will mention the color. I will say red, right? So see, now it's a red color, right? So that's how it's work, right? So let's say msft dot close dot plot, right? Then I will say color, then I will say okay, blue, let's say royal blue. Royal blue, this is one of my favorite color. So right, it's a bit heavy, guys, right? Now you can see over here, see those are those points that's been overlapped, right? So what we can do over here now, we can say like let's say like plt, right, dot figure, right? Then I will say fig size, then I will say 15 and 6. That's really fine. So till then what I can do, like plt dot x label, so I will say date, so x label will be date, and plt dot y label, that will be let's say price, right? Price, okay, and we'll say plt dot legend and plt dot show, right? So one more thing is left, that's my favorite. So grid line, plt dot should be grid line, right? See, once you type, right, plt dot, just press a tab button into your keyboard, it's automatically give you the suggestion over there which one you want to select, right? So now you can see over here there's the y scales and there's a x scales, right? So x label, so it's automatically shows over there. So vertical line, horizontal line, you can put a line over here, right? So yeah, those kind of things work really smooth, and I will show you in future how to create a mean line over here, right? So on my visualization technique, right? So I don't want to make this video too long, and I'm like most of you guys may be on the beginner level or maybe an intermediate level, so I want to make it easy, right? So basically I can say grid, right? There we go, grid, right? And I will say I will say line style. Basically line style, I want dash line, right? So those are the dashes. And I will say color, the color of a line, I want something like gray, right? And should be fine, right? Let's try, and should be fine. Over here it's already labeled, so that's automatic, that's fine. So now you can see over here a beautiful chart in front of you, right? So what we miss over here is basically the last thing we have missed over here is title. So title, right? So that stands for title, and we'll say micro soft, right? Microsoft, right? Micro, MICRO, right? Microsoft. Okay, after this I'm gonna visualize the volume, right, and also the high and low. So I will copy this, right? I will just paste this over here, and I will say high, right? So, and let's say high will be on, yeah, there we go, guys. So now you can see over here there's an open and close size. So those are the open and close. So red one is the open and blue one is the close. So the chart start from nearly between 2013 to 2014 and is and after 2023, right? So that's mean 2023 to 2024, right? So now you can see over here, that's your first visualizations of those stock market graph of Microsoft, right? So hopefully you guys are enjoying this till now, right? So let's see now high and low, right? Let's say red and another should be green, right? Let's not take red, let's take something else now. Let's say orange. Okay, and yeah, that's fine. High and low, right guys? So this is quite heavy, right? So it will take time, right? So just need to have a patience, right? So there we go, guys. So those are the high and low over here, right? You can see over here. So it's the same thing. So instead of open and close price, we have printed high and low over here, right? So you can plot this both graph into a single graph, right? And for that, basically what you need to do is like you need to copy one of this, right? You copy one of these and you just put over here, and you just copy this one, high and low, right? Rest will stay same. So I have changed the different color code, right? Red, blue, orange and green, so the color doesn't overlap between each other, right? Right guys, now you can see over here, right? So basically it's open, close, high and low. You can see there's a lot of noise over there, right? You cannot even see that properly, isn't it? So what I can do for that, I will just put my cursor over here, right? Near the open, close and high, right? And I will say dot, right? So dot tail. Okay, so I'm gonna put a tail for 30 days, right? I want to see in 30 days how this look like. Okay, so now you can see over here, those are our 30 days, right? On the 30 days, open, close, high and low, see how they are related to each other, right? Over here they see they are overlapped over here, so close and low. So on this point you can see over here, right, there's a crossing point over there. So there's a lot of thing going on, right? You can study like this, right? You can just use a tail, right? And if you want to see for the 1 year, and you can put 365. Most probably you can see like this, right? On 365 days, right? See how it went down, right? Those are the area of buying area and those are the selling area, right? I really don't want to give any advice. That's how I feel, right? So okay, so let's go with the volume now. Okay, so how the volume been changing, right? So see the volume, most probably on the volume, that's a tricky part, right? So I will show you, right? First of all, msft dot volume. So now you can see the volume over here, right? So basically I can say msft dot volume, right, dot plot, right? So I don't want to waste too much time on a volume, right? So I just want to show you how roughly it's look like and how this graph actually determine how the volume work, right? So now you can see over here, see the volume on 2013, that's quite high, then it went down, and now you can see over here there's converging over here. You can see over here like this, and it went straight, right? So there's a convergence over here, right? So basically convergence is a term we use in a mechanical engineer, right? So basically when the force starts showing like no abrupt change, so it start showing the linear not linear, sorry, a constant, right? So that is known as convergence state, right? So let's say msft dot volume, and then after that we have to present them into form of 365 days, and I will say tail, right? Tail, and I will say 365, right? Sorry, 365. Now you can see over there, those are the 365 date, right? So then I will say plot. So basically you need to plot me for 365. So that's how this look like on a 365, right? So it's plotting up and down. So another way is to say dot 30 days, right? 30 days dot plot dot bar, right? Let me see how this look like. So that's how the 30 days look like, right? So the highest was on 2023 04, that is for April, right, 26th, right? So this is our today's, right? So the last one over here, that is our today's one, right? So and this is the highest one, right? So on how much is that on 2023 04 26, right? So I want to do some average calculation, right? How the average look like, right? So basically I'm gonna copy this again, right? So I'm gonna copy this again, and basically I will put over here, then I will say dot mean. Okay, so dot mean, it basically give me this other mean volume over here, right? So those are the mean volume over here. So if I say something like okay, plt dot, right? So let's stand for horizontal, right? So ax horizontal line, right? Then I can say something like this, right? I will copy this, right, over here, right? And I will say line style, it will be dash dash, right? And I will say color, right? So then equal to red, right? Now let's print this, should be fine. There we go, right? So guys, this is your mean line over here, right? So this is the kind of trick I will show you on future when I will make a video on the visualizations. Those video will be separate. Those video doesn't conclude you need to be a quant analyst to use those visualization. You can use those visualization into machine learning, into your sales, into your marketing. I'm like to present all your data just to visualize them, right, properly. So basically I will make another video, another separate one full course on visualizations. Okay, so let's move on, guys. So we don't need to do too much on the volume now. So now the final part, right? So I want to see the apple first, right? So basically I want to save a time, guys. So most probably to save time, what I do is most probably just use the open and close, right? I will copy this, right? So I'm just gonna replace, right? So I'm just gonna replace those variables, right? So I will consider only close at the moment because I want to compare those Apple and Microsoft, right, onto the same chart of their 10-year time series analysis, right? So let's say instead of Microsoft, let's say AAPL. Hopefully you remember AAPL. There we go, AAPL, right? So after that the price is fine, the date is fine, and over here it's need to be AAPLE, right? So that's look fine to me, right? Oops, I forgot one thing, right? So I have to copy this one more time because I want in a lower case, right? So that is how I do. So I will copy this. Okay, so over here I will say AAPL, right? And over this one also AAPL, right? Just to show you guys, if I run this, right? So now what I'm gonna do, AAPL dot columns. So now you can see over here, this is in a lowercase now it will work fine. Okay, so let's see how basically Apple look like. So this is how your Apple look like from 10 years, right? That's cool. So now our final code, right? So basically final block of code, I'm gonna mark down this first, right? So I will say comparison, right? So comparison between Apple and Microsoft. Okay, so comparison between the Apple and Microsoft. So I'm gonna do is just gonna copy this again, so I don't want to waste your time, right, guys? So basically I'm just gonna copy this, right? I'm not gonna run this, right? So that's the Apple close, right? So then I have to put another one is MSFT, so Microsoft, right? So then I have to change the color. I will say Apple as red, MSFT just a normal blue, right? And let's say Apple versus Microsoft, right? So I have to label this again. So I will say label over here, and I will use quote to label those data. I will say Microsoft, right? And I will say Apple, right? So another, I really want to use the average, right? So plt dot ax, that's a horizontal line. Then I will just put a space here, right, on middle of them, so I don't want to confuse anyone. So I will say MSFT close, right? I'll copy this, right? MSFT close dot mean value, right? And I'll say line style, line style equal to dash dash, right? So, and I'll say color equal to red. Yeah, that's the red one, right? So basically same, I'm gonna copy this, right, and I'm gonna just paste over here. Instead of Microsoft, I'm gonna use Apple, right? Sorry, AAPL, yeah, so that's fine. And instead of red, I'm gonna use a blue, right? So let's run this. Hopefully it's present very well, right? Okay, finger crossed. So this is our last graph we are basically doing in this video, and after this I'm gonna make another video similarly on how to do more analysis. There we go, guys. So now you can see over here, so see the red one is our Microsoft. This is our mean line, right? So above those graph, the red line is our above the mean, and below those are below the mean, right? So same with the blue one is our Apple. So this mean line present the mean value of those graphs. So above those are the above the mean line, right, above the mean price, and those are the below the mean price, right? So you can see over here date, price, right? And that's how we do, right? Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed watching this video, and I will provide all these files on the link below the description side. You can download this file from GitHub, and basically if you want to ask me any questions, if you have any problem, just feel free to contact me on LinkedIn, right? Or you can put anything into the comment sections, right, guys? So I will see you on next video, right? So you have a nice day, right? Cheers and peace.